Let's talk about middle school history. Hey guys, it's Vani from Mrs. Mom's Homeschool and welcome to my channel. And if you're new here, I make videos to help you on your homeschooling journey. And today we're talking about middle school history. And as I explained in my last video on how I homeschool early elementary history, which you can find that video on the card above, I did not, until I started homeschooling, like history much. I didn't have the best history teachers. In middle school, elementary was fun, but in middle school, and then that just carried on through high school and then college. I'm basically relearning everything now. So following history curriculum to me, and I have a whole list of all the ones that we tried here and a review of all of them. They are all wonderful, but I wasn't personally able to follow through and teach them because I was getting bored. The kids were getting bored. There were a lot of events that they just didn't really care about, and so it was not sticking with them. So I decided to find another route where my son can learn history more independently as well, because since I'm teaching kids in such a broad age range, and with history, I found it kind of challenging to teach them both the same thing. I guess also I could do the same thing with my early elementary school student. I could do this as a read out loud. And maybe I will do that because this is a really good series. But I found a series of books called A History of Us by Joy Hackham. And she wrote these wonderful books. There are 10 in the series. And the first one is called The First Americas, and it's from prehistory to 1600s. And the books are very thin, so you can take as long as you need to read them. And not just that, but they have nice pictures and the chapters are short. It's also written in a really interesting way, straight to the child, not in a textbook way at all. It's written in a conversational tone. It's like she's talking to your kids, and my son is enjoying reading this book, and I am too when I read it to him. We are going to be doing this, and then I found that she has study guides for each of these books. So this is the one for the First Americans book, and it has here about reports and special projects, and then they have different worksheets that they can do. So this is for chapters 1, 2, and 3. There's a word bank and word play, critical thinking, fact or opinion, and then a writing activity. So every chapter or every group of chapters has their own little worksheets and activities. And the reason why I like this is because we never really did anything like this for history. Normally it was just like reading aloud with all the other history curriculum and then like doing maybe an activity. But I like having them using the words and writing things down, because when you write things down, you remember them. So, and there's also graphic organizers in here that they're going to use in each chapter to help them analyze things and think about things. And I really think this is going to help history stick in my son's mind more than if I didn't use it. I'm really glad I found it, even though we're about like in the 8th chapter. I think this coming week we might just go back and just work on this before moving on in this. I also like to use, once we catch up in these books to here, we're gonna be using the everything you need to know about American history in one book. So this is just one book, so there's not a lot in here. For example, if I'm teaching the American Revolution, there's a short chapter on it here in this book that he can get a different perspective from. And then at the end of the chapter, there are some questions, if I can find them at the end of this chapter. They're not as short as the other book, but they are very colorful and fun to read as well. So there's a list of questions there that I can have him answer in a notebook in full sentences. We're also going to be using for his personal reading time during this history season, because over the summer we're going to do more fun books, but we're going to be doing books about history. So like History Smashers, Freedom Crossing, different historical fiction books. There's some like I Escaped books, I Escaped the American Revolution, those kinds of fun books that are based on history, and we're just going to dive all in this year. And the reason why we're diving all in, and even our read alone time, is because basically this is our first year doing history with him. Well, a full year of history, because I wasn't able, like I explained in the beginning of the video, to follow it all the way through. But I am also reading to him as I read out loud, and to my daughter, the Chronicles of Narnia. So we do have our imaginative story, and then over the summer he's going to be reading other books for fun. We're also going to be adding, I think Amazon has like a history series, so there'll be some documentary days where he's just going to be watching a documentary, and I'm going to teach him how to take notes. And so this is just like a very hands-on, more fun, and I think exciting way to learn history. And I really like that the student guide has projects in here, but that's awesome. I really like that a lot. So this is how I am teaching history to my middle schooler. If you want to see how I'm teaching history to my early elementary student, again, make sure you check out the video in the card above. And that's it, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you want to see a day in the life of my 6th grader, I also have a video of that. And basically, I will see you in the next video.